Oh shit, we got guests. Oh, hi.
Yes.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, that'll
Look
be a
fresh
good one.
off of a plane. I've never
Hey, Brand.
seen you look so nice. Look at that.
Thanks, man.
Nice collar.
I like the hat.
You shaved?
know.
My God. It's like a
Dude.
different person.
Hey, everybody. I know. It had the beard, had the hair, and now I just look
Yeah,
like a regular
what
boring
happened?
dude again.
You went to work?
Had to go to work a lot. Yeah.
The fuck are you doing that for?
I don't know. I like the goatee.
Thanks. I have not been to work.
I see that. Lucky you. Still holding out. No.
I don't even know if I got a job. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I guess we'll
How
find
you been,
out.
Adam?
Chris, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I can't believe that's what the inside of a hotel room looks like.
I know.
I know,
I've
you
never.
get jealous.
Last time I
Oh,
saw
dude.
I'm
one
sure
of
you've been here
those.
before.
Which one
I'm
is
here
it?
It's the Hilton on Virginia Avenue. I'm just here for Sims. I'm not flying or anything.
Dude, I've never stayed at that hotel because we get nothing but the best. The Holiday Inn North and the
You haven't lived until
the Holiday
Yeah.
Inn North. That's it.
Right.
That's all I've ever stayed at. Yeah, Airbus. That's
Yeah,
how it
okay.
works.
Yeah, I was gonna get a piece of that. That got taken away from me, so I'm still on the guppy.
Well, you know, launching right into it, it's interesting that you say that because so the airline that Chris and I work for, we've got another big bid coming up because everything's in flux.
vacancy bid. Big. Let's see,
Yeah,
everybody's gonna-
yeah, because the furloughs happened,
Well,
and
first and foremost, let's get our
Or
shit
what we
together.
think.
What is everybody drinking?
probably most importantly,
Oh, Callie, don't you fucking tell me that
I
you're.
just got here.
Oh, don't you? So there's a.
just like so
friggin-
bright.
Are you kidding me? There's a.
Water.
Oh,
Pour this for me.
there's got to be a.
What you? I don't know, man.
Oh, Lafroy. Oh,
Blame Ti-
Lagavulin.
Blame
And
Tyler for painting me into a corner.
It's also not just Lagavulin, that's the Nick Offerman
Who's
Oh,
version too. Yeah,
that is good stuff.
available at Costco.
Not drinking your seltzer tonight, Adam?
I was
Hard-
going to, but see,
Hard
since
seltzer.
I'm an hour behind you guys, I don't start with scotch before dinner because that's like masturbating before sex. It's a
Because your wife
complete
says
waste. It's a complete waste of your time. Why bother? Unless you've got some weird kinky stuff, which I'm into that too, but not when it comes to scotch. I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
I can't
wait
imagine
for
how
dinner.
bad your food would taste after drinking Lagavulin.
Yeah,
It-
it's pe-
I got-
it. Why not
It'd have
just
a nice
eat peat
smoky
moss?
finish.
Why not
Nice
just eat
smoky
peat
finish.
moss?
It'd have a smoky start, and it would taste
Smoky,
smoky, and then it would
yeah.
be a smoky finish. Yeah.
I only exactly. But yeah, the no, so anyways, yeah, Chris and I are going, we got the big thing coming out, and who knows what's gonna happen. I'm working for the military, have been for Uncle Sam for the last 2 months.
Ooh,
Okay,
on
good deal.
orders, or you're doing like
On orders. So a little difference, Brandon, you know this because you were a guardian for
oh, that's right, in the guard. That's even better. That's
you were an
awesome.
active duty guy in the guard, which is a good deal.
Yeah. And then the guard,
And then the guard for a minute,
Yes.
and then
fucking reserve shit.
so we up in Wisconsin had a lot going on, and they decided that they were going to activate. The idea was they're going to activate all guard members statewide. So I was already in orders doing some other stuff, and the word came down that hey, everybody's probably going to be coming into work, and of course,
For what? They got the money
the
for that?
the
Was
Kenosha
it like a
stuff.
lifeline? Were they trying to be bros? Like were they trying to hook you guys up, or
No, yes, no,
yeah?
every bit of that. So the governor said he wants 4,000 troops. We don't even have 4,000 guard people in the state of
I was
Wisconsin.
gonna say, what?
But with Kenosha, they didn't want Kenosha to turn into Seattle or Minneapolis.
Fuck happened in
Or
Kenosha?
Portland, yeah.
Yeah, or Portland. Yeah, the Jacob Blake police shooting. Wow, how are you that far behind on anything that's happening in any world
I
other
don't.
than the one planet you live on?
No, I just live on this planet, dude. I don't turn on the TV anymore. I don't. What happened? Are
Uh,
you serious?
yeah, there was a police
Yeah.
shooting in Kenosha.
Somebody shot a cop?
Wisconsin. Nope, vice versa. A
No.
cop shot a gentleman who was doing some illicit dealings. I'll just leave it at that. For those of you who want
Illicit?
details, go
Was
for it.
he a drug dealer or something?
I'm not going to get into anything other than
He
he was doing something
No,
that was illegal.
He had a warrant for drugs. Yeah, he wasn't dealing drugs at the
Oh.
time. There was, I think,
Oh.
that he had a warrant out, and they went to go pick him up, and he reached into a car, and they thought he was getting a weapon, and they shot him 7 times in the back.
Yeah.
So
There's a
that's
lot.
where the speculation starts.
There's a
after that.
lot to that story. There's
Ooh, that's-
a lot to that story. There's always is, right?
There always is,
Right.
and none of it ever matters.
None of it matters because
He shot.
the court of public opinion,
Public opinion.
rules,
Exactly.
and
Yep.
it is instantaneous judgment and gratification.
Wow.
So, with that said, the governor was very proactive and wanted to say, we don't want what's happened in these major cities to happen in this smaller city of Kenosha.
Of course. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you guys need every Wendy's you can get. You can't
Ex-
afford to burn them down.
Bingo. And the other part about Kenosha, it's directly in the center of Chicago, Milwaukee, the 94 corridor. So if you're going to have bad stuff happen, what a great place to bring in both elements from Milwaukee and Chicago to combine them all together for a nice old family, let's burn a city down
Oh,
festival.
it's
Road
right on
trip,
the
yeah.
border. No,
Yep.
it's on the border of. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that! It is.
It's like 35 miles from Chicago and about
smack
35
dab in the middle of Milwaukee and Chicago.
Yep. So what a perfect meeting spot for everybody who wants to cause a couple extra problems for everybody. So the state decided that they were going to go and do get proactive, and we eventually we're on the tail end of that now, but it was brought in to bring everybody up to some sort of status. And we used some of the guys and gals, but some people didn't need to be here. Long before that, we had CARES orders money, so I've been on that for 2 months. And this is just, it's funny though, every time that something happens right now that's a civil disturbance, the Guard has been way more hair trigger to kind of come to work. So having us on orders helps because they can get a hold of us right away and just go, can't get all your people, talk to all your people. So it's
Will you be
performing?
performing a show of force with the straddle tanker?
I can nor confirm or deny said showing of force. Would I love to? That's a different story, and my opinion is off the record, yes.
Yeah, I can't imagine a better anti-riot tool than a
Okay.
300,000-pound tanker.
So I got one for you. Chris, you'll enjoy this. The Milwaukee Brewers, who are playing your Detroit Tigers right now as we speak.
My team's the Pirates, but yeah, I'll own the Tigers.
Okay,
for now.
well,
I'll rent them. Yeah,
You can,
okay.
but you can have an AL girlfriend. You can have
Yeah, you bet.
your national
Yeah.
wife and your AL girlfriend. I went through AL girlfriends all the time because I lived in Detroit, Tampa. We got smashed anyways, 12-1 last night. I mean, so whatever. But the opening day, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, whatever, the Brewers had requested that we do a flyby.
Okay.
No fans in the stands, whatever. They want to do it. We're cool. We're on it. We need to kill flying hours. It worked out perfectly. We were going to do, I think we had an AR associated with it afterwards or something. It was going to work out beautifully.
Well, you can pretty much do what you
okay.
want over the stadium because no one's filming you and putting you on YouTube. So you could,
Well, yeah.
You didn't have to go there and quantify the fact that, and we had AR after. So
We did.
Optics.
speaking,
Optics.
It's not even optics.
Jesus, are you still in? You must be still be in.
We had a scheduled air refueling afterwards because that's the only way you can do anything nowadays, Brandon. That's
It feels so good to be on
I
the
know,
outside
you don't-
looking in.
yeah, I'm sure it does. For some of the guys who are getting furloughed right now, that's probably not the same.
No,
Added.
definitely not.
So
Definitely
I will say this. So we got this all planned out. Morning of, I wake up ready to go, and I look at the Brewers, see who's going to be the lineup for the day, and it says games postponed, and I go, what the hell postponed? And sure enough, it was the second team to postpone, or second set of games postponed because the Cardinals decided to go out and play at a casino and catch COVID-19 and then screw us out of a flyby. And me, I wasn't actually on the flyby. I was going to be in the stadium. So I was going to be the only member of our entire Guard unit to set foot in the stadium for the entire season.
that'd been sweet.
Thank you, St. Louis Cardinals, for not allowing that to happen. I appreciate
That
it.
might have earned you a seat in the dugout too for a little bit, huh?
No, MLB rules are ridiculous. I learned all about them owners can't get in the stadium unless they are pre-approved on a list.
Wow.
Yep.
Who
I own
who
the
makes the
team.
list? The
their-
owners?
It's their fucking house.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
how
what
you
I
gonna
said.
keep me out of my house?
That's
What the-
well.
I built
actually,
the damn stadium. Like
actually,
what?
I
I
disagree
keep the
with
lights
you.
on. It's like, well,
It's
I can't
the-
go in there. Oh, fine.
They keep the lights
Done.
on. They keep the lights on. The taxpayers paid for the stadium, right? So that we should.
Not all of it though.
Yeah, a good portion of it in a lot of states, but that's neither here nor there. They told me that I was in for the flyby, and then I would have to leave. And I said, well, I'm going to take a slow walk and at least see the first inning. Yep. Couldn't even stay for.
You saw it step by step. Yeah.
Yep. And be like, all right, pitch, walk, pitch. You know, it depends who's pitching. I might be there for an hour, depend who, or 5 minutes.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous watching that.
Yeah, it is. Brent Suter, he's our boy in Milwaukee who pitches really fast. Anyways,
Right
so
on,
that's
yeah.
what I've been up to for the last since last time I got to join you fellas. I've been on orders and working for the guard. So
Okay. I haven't kept up with these, Tyler. What all have you guys been discussing? Last time I was here, we had the special guest, Flying with Love.
Yeah. She
Oh, is that
she
the last
was
one you're
awesome.
on?
Yep.
That was the last one. That was good. I started following.
She
her
liked
after
you.
that.
Yeah. Instagram influencer. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
great.
Good things to say about you, brother.
We had Dan and Nate on last week, and an
Never
hour and a half
again.
podcast had to
Never again.
be edited to 44 minutes because the whiskey caught up to Dan.
Way
He gets
too
real
soon.
mumbly, huh?
Yeah, he
You need like the
he didn't.
subtitles.
Yeah, he didn't say a whole lot of value. It was more he was getting aggressive, we'll say. So we'll just leave it
No.
at that.
wait,
What was Juice in his house or something? Was he?
Dan
Yeah.
Medina, aggressive.
Well, so Dan was at Nate's house, so they were drinking
Uh,
together, and then
oh.
Aaron showed up halfway through.
Did Dan steal Nate's bacon?
He did not steal Nate's
Well,
bacon.
he stole a steak, I guess. Maybe.
That'll
yeah.
cause
Yeah,
that-
he was.
the bacon that ends lives, man.
That was
Oscar Diaz.
Throw back to Boise.
and that was
yeah.
Dan, wasn't it?
Dan's
yeah.
done that
Yep.
numerous times. Vegas, I guess Boise.
Team Dan. That's what I like to call him, Team Dan.
Yep.
But yeah, Chris. So we also we started a new podcast. The first one was released on Tuesday.
What's it
We're
called?
calling it the Opportunity Hour, where
Okay.
we interview air crew with side gigs or
okay.
entrepreneurs that have a product or service that suits air crew. So we've
Such as
had
yourself,
a few.
huh?
Yeah, we had the first one we released was the Tuo Life, and they developed this light bulb, which cures
You ever just
jet
talk
lag.
to somebody and you know they're just smarter than you?
Yeah.
Like
All the time.
off the bat.
All the time.
I know.
So
That
it
happens to me all
was
the time, too.
it was very fascinating. Got into the science of it quite a bit. They had a Kickstarter campaign, so it was neat talking about that. They had the University of Washington do all their R&D.
I
Oh,
was
the-
smart,
the
man.
sleep people at Washington.
Yep. So it was really good. We got a couple interesting ones on deck. We'll release another one here shortly. Rome Fitness.
Also,
it's a
ever meet
gym.
somebody just smarter than you?
Yeah, that dude's just wicked smart. But he opened a gym in Baltimore, BWI.
Okay. I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked to him for a while and discussed his struggles during COVID because obviously traffic is drastically diminishing. And we have a few more on deck. We've got a couple in the queue and a couple coming up. So
Yeah, I'm gonna interview this guy that. You know what? For me, I know Tyler's very straightforward with it. Like he wants things, aviation, and which is good. But I like to tie in aviation. I like to. What are those industries out there that are that you wouldn't think would tie into aviation that do,
Mhm.
and you just find that. I think people would like to see that. Like, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, a lot of
And-
human factor stuff and automation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually
So
tie us back in. We'll eventually
And-
take all of our jobs, right?
it used. Yeah. Speaking of
Oh,
which.
It's happening.
How about this X-wing
Uh,
fighter, huh? The fuck.
well,
already
not a
I didn't get
fighter.
a chance to read
It's-
that yet. Yeah.
It's a caravan.
I know.
that
But I
they
told
actually.
you, the X-wing's been flying autonomously, essentially
In a galaxy far, far.
far. Well, I used other verbiage than far away, but yeah,
You did.
true that, man.
You did.
Yeah, they're conducting autonomous flights in a Cessna Caravan, and they got approval to, I believe, transport cargo. I have to read into it a little bit more, but
Yeah,
they
I
kind of-
didn't get it all.
Didn't DHL do something like that too? Or back in the day, they tested something like that.
You know, what you're saying rings a bell, but I
But
can't.
it was a long
remember.
time ago.
Long
is
time
DHL
ago.
still a thing?
Oh,
Yeah, oh yeah.
bigger
Internationally, right?
bigger than FedEx and UPS.
Are they still in the U.S.?
I think they're international. I've never seen them.
Because they're
I've never seen them on the
Australian, right?
ground.
I think they're.
I can answer all this because
Oh,
I used
cool.
to fly their contracts.
Oh, look at that.
Atlas Air, Atlas, Kalita, Evergreen Evergreen's still around, but Southern, all those places. If you go to Cincinnati, the cargo side, the reason you never see them.
Well, who goes to Cincinnati though?
Yeah, well, somebody has to. go to
Atlas,
Cincinnati.
Kalita,
Northern
Atlas,
DHL.
people who live in Northern Kentucky, Brandon. Come on,
How are you going to get your
Uh,
bourbon shipped to you, Brandon?
boom.
I'm about to go find out tomorrow. I'm going hunting.
So they have, there is, I want to say the ballpark estimate was somewhere around 80% when I was working for Atlas. They had like 80% of all contracts with Atlas. And we flew, they were basically scheduled routes. So just like FedEx or UPS, there wasn't charter. That was all scheduled routing. And come to find out that when you get outside of the United States, UPS and FedEx are small, and DHL is the rest of the
Is
world.
the big one. Yeah.
Is the big one.
I was going to say, I see them in China. I used to see them in China and in
Yep.
Europe a lot on the ground. Like I never see them here.
Well, they bought, if you remember this, go way back, Airborne Express, and they tried to get their
Oh yeah.
certificate, and then it failed, and they basically took $1 billion loss at the time and just said forget it, and they left Airborne Express to try to fend for themselves. So and that's just a generalization of what all went down, but yeah, I think they have 3 separate hubs in the United States that they run all their shit through. So
Are they Australian?
German, I believe.
German?
Yeah.
I think it started from the German post office. It's like Deutsche whatever, and then it became DHL did its own thing. Yeah.
That's Qantas. That's Australian, right?
Yeah, and they're having their problems right now too, man. Yikes.
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
isn't?
I feel like Australia
That's
is
right.
getting hit really hard with this COVID, like the way their government is responding to it. And I don't know what the numbers are there. I've just been hearing some crazy stories coming out of Australia.
Trouble. Yeah.
Like what?
Well, I think any more socialist country is going to have a lot more onus on the central government to solve this. And when there is no clear answer, they look that much more foolish, I think in Australia is kind of finding that out.
Man, I think every country that has that as their backbone is going to find that out. Whereas here, I mean, we talk
Right.
about it all the time, even on the show, like the opportunity. There's opportunity now. Like, and if you're in a capitalistic environment, like now's the time to figure something else out, maybe. But you have the freedoms to do that, and you have like the structures kind of set up for you to do that.
Mhm. Yeah, it's called
Because
the
it could
internet.
happen again too.
Called the internet.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, Brandon, you bring that up, like changing things. We talked about this the last time I was on, but over at the other network, we changed all the procedures and I guess you could say infrastructure of how we're doing business to automate a lot more and put stuff in other people's hands who are experts at specific items, just to make it flow way better.
Got to do it.
You got to do it. And for those of you who are, so for instance, my
You can
What network? Yeah. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
you're allowed to say.
You talking
just
about
like the
unless you
network.
don't want to.
no, of course. I mean the pilot network.
yeah,
Wait,
Pilot Network.
you know the guy that started that?
Who's the pilot? Why do you say the pilot?
I'm familiar. Yeah,
What's his name?
know the
I
guy.
thought it was like Matt something. I got to start.
Oh
right?
yeah, there it
Matt
is. There it
Sweet.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was like Matt. I can't remember. Sweets or something like that.
No,
What's his
Brandon,
last name?
Brandon, I started the Pilot Network. I brought Matt on about 2.5, 3 years
No,
after it was
I
started.
thought you're just one of their spokesperson. Like he brought you
Oh
on.
yeah, here it is.
I thought you were
What?
just the Facebook Live guy.
Yeah, I thought you were
Muscle,
doing
yeah.
like marketing for them.
Rough people up for you.
Rough.
How is that going? Are you how is it selling the dream when there's no dream to sell?
Yeah, dude. Amen to that, right? Brandon actually brought this up the last time we spoke. He goes, he's absolutely right. And the way I looked at it was, I kind of thought the same thing. I just didn't want to take advantage. But upturn, downturn, it doesn't matter, because when there's a dream to sell, everybody's interested. When there's no dream to sell, everybody wants answers. So everybody wants answers either way. And the thing is the answers that they're looking for, I don't have any of them, but the collective might have something to help out. And we're kind of changing.
Oh, it definitely does. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we're changing the way we do a lot of business. We're actually starting a compensation gig for pilots in the network who have some writing or blogging abilities and who want to jump on. We're their avenue. We pay them. They write. We've got different like short form, medium form, long form. And then we've got the bigger thing though, the harder one is, and I guess I expected this, I just didn't realize how hard it would hit everybody in the short term, is our wonderful sponsors, their marketing budgets got just wiped out. So that's where we collect a lot of our revenue to be able to fund some of the stuff that we're doing. And when you have to go back and I had a conversation today with one of them about money, it's tough. It's like talking to your spouse about, hey, honey, everything is good. We're 90 days late on our mortgage. We should be fine because I'm not going to get furloughed, but I'm not entirely sure. And that conversation, it just sucks to have. Our biggest and best friend of the Pilot Network, Milta ATP, I mean, their whole business was moving guys from the military over to the airline. I mean, that was their bread and butter.
You got a lot of guys like that, right? Weren't you working for?
Can't they just flip the switch and put them the other way now? Because that seems like that's the way the flow's going to go.
Right?
We're going to take airline guys and put you in the military. How's that sound?
Are you saying go from suck to blow? Are they supposed to go from suck to blow?
You can't do that. You can't go full suck.
You can't go from suck to blow, and you can't go full plaid.
When you started TPN, you were like, you were at the bottom of the bell curve on the way up of the airline industry, right? Like you caught it at the very bottom.
I was, when I started TPN, Tyler, I was in a bee hut in Bagram working for FlightWorks.
Yes. But no, what I'm saying is the aviation market, like you started at the right time, and you're almost similar economic period with the airlines as you were when you started. So while you might have like a 6 to 8 month lull, you and the core group of sponsors that you have right now are going to benefit dramatically again,
big time,
in the relatively near future, because you've already got the infrastructure in place to service your viewers. I don't know if that's the right word.
Membership.
Yep. You'll be able to service them just like you did. It'll just be a different group of members at this point.
The thing is it's still the same group of members. There's certain businesses that are like like you guys are doing with the Opportunity Hour, that service XYZ pilot, like for Rome Fitness, because we know Tyler, and Rome Fitness, his idea is, okay, you go to a major airport, your passenger, your airline got whatever, flight attendant, you go work out at the gym. Well, that helps airline Part 121 guys and maybe a couple fractional or whatever, but like the corporate dude, that has no bearing on their life because they rarely travel.
We touched on that in the podcast, actually.
We actually might be doing something with that.
You have to tune
in.
So,
but you're right.
But with that said, so each business has their core customer group, right? Mm-hmm. And not every business is scalable, and not every business should be or needs to be scalable. Like Milta ATP was dialed down directly to military guys who want the 2-week answer to become an airline pilot, and they nailed it. They had it perfectly wired. Well, it got so big so fast that even Chris Kresge, the owner and proprietor and overall badass, was like, it's kind of too much. and was at the point where he's like, I love this, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. So
weren't you at that point too? At some point you were looking to sell portions of your
I'm still,
TPN?
we're always looking for answers, right? Always looking for answers. I think once we had a long come to Jesus about how to manage the infrastructure and the systems, because to be honest with you, and I think I mentioned this last time I touched on it, was administration of social media is the bane of my existence when it comes to TPN. And I think it's the bane of everybody's existence right now. If you're on social media and if you look at social media for more than a minute, your rage level starts to go up. Because
someone will be fighting with somebody.
Because if you look at a news feed, something is in there that just, and I am apolitical, and I don't care, but man, there's other stuff that just gets on there. You're like, dude, just stop. I don't care.
It's hard, man. Yeah.
So with that being said, going in and having a group of 25,000, which an incredibly high number of active members within the group, trying to play referee became something that I disliked immensely. So what I did was instead of referee, I just turned into the executioner. It was like, you gone, you're out of here, see you later. Cause it cleaned up the act rapidly. Like overnight, I kicked out the 30 or 40 members who were starting the pitchforks and torches brigade. And I just said, you're gone. You guys are gone.
Am I kicked out? I haven't checked.
Brandon, you'd have to actually participate in social media.
I've had some shit deleted. I don't think I've been kicked out though.
You've okay, I got a great story.
You can't kick out Callie. He's the best
Ooh,
troller
I can't wait for this
out
story.
there.
Okay, because Tyler's the only one I think knows this. I think you actually know where I'm going on this one, Tyler. I think you're the only one I've ever talked to about this besides Matt. So I believe Callahan wrote a couple things, and they were then thenceforth deleted. And Callahan said to Tyler, I'm going to see how far I can push Matt before he kicks me out of the group.
Oh, I remember this.
Which then I told Tyler,
that was a few years ago. Yeah.
It was a few years ago. And I have a very fond memory of this. I told Tyler, I go, so the funny part is Matt has zero administration on the Facebook group. It's me. And I actually think a lot of the shit is hilarious. The thing is I have to play like shepherd and make all the herd kind of happy, because if they start skewing off, it's not the one person I got to worry about. It's the 30 complaints that I get that I'm sitting there going, oh gosh. And then they start posting, and then it becomes this
Do you
giant
really
web
care? But why do you care? I don't know.
Because once you start having people who you
that's what trolling is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Except the people that you troll, they end up coming back to me, and then I got to do the work, which is fine. I understand where I stand.
But what work? What do you care?
I was barking up the wrong tree. I really thought I was shaking Matt Sweet's beehive. I didn't know it was yours, so I'm sorry about that.
You didn't shake my beehive at all. I just laughed and was like, whatever. I just
I love when Chris shakes beehives.
I think it's.
I think I threw up a meme today. There was beehive shaking that made me think of you, Chris.
Thanks, Ben.
Chris, you got to remember, I laugh a lot before I delete. The thing is
okay. Yeah.
I have to. It's keeping the group at least structured and centered enough that we can legitimately go outside and say, hey, we want to do some good work and send money to people or send product to people or do certain things and collect revenue from a sponsor. And if we just have a messy bullshit Facebook group, it doesn't matter how many people are.
Reflects poorly. I get
but
it.
I've seen those monetized too. I've seen that.
Yeah, but their core competency is built around the professional aviator.
Everybody's playing nice. Well, first of all, that's an oxymoron.
Well,
professional aviator. Come on.
Some of them try to be professional.
Did you say douche or touche?
Yeah, either works.
but it's funny because that whole thing about when it turned into a business, it really did turn into a business. Like you got to play above board on some stuff, even though you don't necessarily want to. Like the Hans Wick thing, which I missed the entire, and nobody, I don't know if anybody here knows.
Hans Wink.
Hans Wink.
Yes, Wink. I remember him.
What happened to that?
I missed it. It was gone before I had a chance to even
It's
see
on
it.
your site.
He wrote a book.
It was
He
gone.
was pushing.
Oh.
I think he was a corporate pilot. I don't think
Come
he was
fly,
even
come fly with me or fly away with
something.
me.
Yeah, it was like
It's on
being, like,
Amazon. You can get it.
it's
No.
it's amazing.
I don't want it.
I'll find it. I'll find it and share the screen because it
Don't
is
do it.
Brandon. There was within.
So you're going to advertise for this guy?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Within an hour of him posting this, there was 355 comments, and there was like 1,000 people who were interacting real time. And this dude was getting jackhammered by the network, and it was hysterical because
See, so it handled itself. You let it go. They'll handle it.
4 years later, people will still make comments about him, and they
Was
also
that long
make,
ago?
yeah, it's like 3 years later. It's 3 years, maybe. I think it's.
I don't know.
Wow.
It's been a
I don't
while.
remember. Yeah.
And then there's another guy who he kicked off about a year ago. The dude, he said he could hover a helicopter in like 30.
Oh, one total
seconds.
time.
Love that guy.
Yeah, one.
What,
Yeah,
Total time.
I love Total Time. I love that guy.
One total time.
And he people will bring him up too. You can see it like randomly. They'll be talking about like.
So he is still made fun of on several Facebook groups.
I heard
in the
about that.
professional aviation arena. Yeah.
I've heard he's
Are
made
you
fun
serious?
of across the board. Yeah, and he's I actually reported that guy to the FAA, so people could be on the lookout for him.
Oh, really? Narc?
Oh, so you report posts?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Adam.
you report posts real nice.
Hey
Cool.
man,
Is your
Stitch.
name Karen?
Snitches
If I
get
got to.
Oh,
stitches.
hey, Karen.
Hey, Kevin. How you doing? So
Brandon, I
Kyle.
want you to go fly a helicopter with this guy, and then when he
Jesus.
puts one in the dirt, you a dead man. If you saw what
First
he
of
was
all,
writing,
I'm a fixed wing guy. Why would I get into a helicopter?
because you're not very bright.
I'm a real
so-
pilot.
Yeah, well, you're still
Not a
very
professional
bright.
one, a real one.
You're still.
So
First
a
of all, you
helo?
have to fly an airplane to be called that. When's the last
You're
time
actually
you-
there. Once you
Oh.
go 6
When's the
months
last
without.
time
What you can do, not what you do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one either, Gary Callie. I gotta be
I like
honest.
what Callie's saying there. I like what he's saying.
I gotta be honest. I haven't seen a plane in geez. What month are we in? September ish?
Careful.
This
Don't
is
fly.
month. This is
September.
we finished 6 months of this. If you say that it started in March, yeah,
At least. At
it's
least.
hard to keep track.
Wow, that's
At
crazy.
least, yeah.
Tyler, it's in midair with Hans Wink, $16.95 for paperback, $6.99 for Kindle. It has 20 ratings on Amazon.
What are they?
What's the average? What's the star rating?
And
One and a half.
no, it's a 4-star average. I'll just pick. Let me just pick one. Let's pick a 4-star one at random.
Wow.
Well, doesn't he like talk about reconnecting with his family and this thing and everything?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? The 1-star review says it all. 1-star troll book. Remember to GFYS.
Yeah.
Go
Is it-
fuck yourself.
Oh, self. Got it. I had to write it down to figure
Yeah.
it out.
Much shorter than GDFFYF.
SS.
Go double fist
Double
fuck your
fist.
fucking
Oh, yeah,
face.
Callie,
Thank you, Nate.
that was me who I started the GDFFYF.
I think
Thank you
Nate
for
is the
that,
one that
yeah.
added double. I think he added the
Nate's
double
carrying
fist.
the torch, and sometimes
Nate-
you
yeah.
forget the past.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Forget the past. I
just
started
saying.
that. I was the first one to write that in an email.
You know who else started? You know what? I was there, and I think I need a little credit too for the Pilot Network. I mean, I was there when you got the URL, and I said, "Hey, well, you said I wonder if anybody has the Pilot Network." I was like, "You know what?
That was the
moron,
URL. but
Why
that-
don't you check?"
That was 2 years after the fact. What are you
No,
talking
that
about?
was
You
for
were there.
Facebook.
I
That was on Facebook.
How'd
We
you
were
get
in
it?
the
'Cause-
squadron.
No,
You were
I wasn't.
standing over
I
there
just
by
told
the-
you. I wasn't
Oh
in the
my
squadron.
Did
I
you
was
ever-
in
Are you gonna
Bagram.
sex it up? Oh, you were at
2012.
war. You're gonna
No,
sex
I
it up
was
by saying
flying
you were in
for
the
a
you were in the
contractor.
war.
I was flying for a contractor in Bagram in 2012.
There I was, surrounded
was
by
out
the
of the
Taliban.
squadron.
Shut up.
I was out of the squadron. I'd been out of the squadron for a year.
Oh, before TPN.
The
How'd
squadron
that
that
go?
you
Let me
weren't
work
even a
out to
part
try
of
to buy
anymore.
Jesus Christ, he's such a.
the .com org. Or are you still the .org? You still
No,
a little
we-
sister?
No,
You
we
got it?
bought the .com. Yeah,
You bought the .com?
yeah, about a
Good for
year
you.
ago. Matt told me, he's like, I couldn't take it anymore, and he bought the .com, and I go,
He just did it with all of his pivot money.
yeah, with
Yeah, that was expensive too, by the way. Yeah, a lot of pivot money to spend on that.
Nah, it wasn't.
You know,
that bad.
you know,
it
I
wasn't
offered-
that bad.
I offered the Pilot Network Pro for free, and they wouldn't take it. So now I'm going to charge you when you come for it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm
No,
gonna
I-
sell it to Tyler, and Tyler's gonna just fucking. Actually, you know what? We're
Well,
gonna.
somebody's g-
This is
you
what
gotta
we're
find
gonna
a way
do.
to
We're
keep
gonna tie
affording
in
your hats. I
the
suppose.
Pilot Network Pro into the Bro Network,
Oh, it could redirect.
and you redirect it into.
Nobody's.
It's actually
The thing
genius.
is you're looking at pilots. They ain't gonna type in the Pilot Network Pro. That's way too damn long.
Yeah.
Oh, no, well, we have
I
TPN
think
Pro
URLs
also.
are a thing of the past.
You don't have.
Yeah, who
TPN
does
Pro.
that? I don't know.
It'll all
Who
be
does that
links
anymore?
anyway. Yeah.
None of it means a damn thing.
Does
So
anybody type in
yeah.
those www? When was the last time you did that? Man, it's
know.
going by fast.
Pornhub. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, you still have to do it for that one because they're showing the
Active.
Betamax.
What do you think he's got? Why do he keeps looking down in the corner? That's what's going.
Is that what you're doing? You got your good thing going on here?
Damn
or-
straight. That's what iPads are for.
I'm just trying to track you guys. Got fifth screen with the porn. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Better
trying to
for
use
you.
my company iPad for this. But
Hey, can't you partition it? They told us you could.
you work with what you got.
They told us you could.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I'm too lazy to figure that shit out.
I have to figure out. It's going to
Jeez.
sound off on that and on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You
So-
guys, I think Tyler, you asked a good question when we were doing the little pre-meet text
expose.
thing. I thought it was solid, and I wanted to bring it up. Was the would you push, encourage,
Your
not
kids,
say
anything,
anything, or would you
I
stop
forgot about that.
children even getting into this career field?
No, so this is what I'm doing. So we have this youth program, and I was one of the guys that say to group the guys together, say, hey, you know what? These kids love playing video games, and the unmanned, what are they called now? UAV, or they're called drones, or they're called
RPA,
all these other crap,
right?
right? Yeah. So remote piloted aircraft. Remotely. Yeah. So that has been one of the big pushes now for our youth camps, is to try to get that marry what they're already doing in video games with, I guess, where the industry is going, even though I hate to do it as a, pure blood pilot, I guess is that, can we call ourselves that now? As opposed to some of these guys that went in as pilots and then, they end up flying drones or something like that. Our era is kind of coming to an end, like guys like us, I think. So why not get these kids ahead, going ahead of kind of the curve and
I think
encourage
that's
them
a
to
great
go in there.
solution.
Yeah.
My concern though is if enough people do dissuade their kids from getting into the full on, air carrier or military pilot thing, who is going to fill those seats? Are we going to be okay with outsourcing them? We're going to be okay with people from other third world countries and when these, accelerated training programs flying our jets, because nobody here wants to touch that job anymore.
That's a good question.
Because I personally, I've got 4 kids. I would not encourage any of them to do it. If that was their dream, I would help, but I'm not going to steer them in that direction for sure.
I think that you can still realize that dream.
Yeah, you can, especially in the military.
It's not going away for 20 or 30 years. It will go away. I think the key to that
12-year-old now.
I think
years.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying we're looking a generation down the road.
I think the key is just to make sure that they are cross-trained in something else. Business, drone operation, like those skills will transfer to the drone side of the house. And there's all kinds of drone opportunities coming up. Granted, those will probably be quite autonomous here as well, but
well, not only that, I think all the skills that you learn in aviation, in becoming an aviator, they translate to pretty much any industry.
Situational awareness.
Yeah, all these little things, all these little stupid buzzwords we know.
Universal
and love.
management badge.
Why did you? Wow, you just came out of nowhere. Wow, that was amazing. It was like you had Tourette's. You have aviation Tourette's.
It's on a sash.
But stuff like that, I think it translates to any industry. So even if you don't end up, okay, they say, oh, we're not taking, flesh bags anymore to fly planes, you can pivot into something else, whether it be drones or something. I don't know. And you're a professional.
I had a reversal on this just the other day, where I thought about it in a different light. It's not the same thing, obviously, because one's physical health and one's not. But it's the same argument of would you encourage, knowing what you know now about football, would you encourage your kids to play football? And as somebody who played it, loved it, thinks it's an awesome sport to watch, thinks it was an awesome sport to play, would you continue to put your kids into a position where they could play football? And I said, I guess I wouldn't say no. I would say if it's something you really want to do, go for it. But at the same time, if you're going to start doing it and it gets a little hard, don't quit. And by the way, if
You
you're
mean by hard by having brain damage or
no. That's what I mean.
never know.
That's what I mean. There is a difference, and you can't compare necessarily the two. That way, I just thought it was a unique. It's one of the very few things that you can actually kind of make a little bit of a comparison on.
Oh yeah,
But
I don't think I would, to be honest with you. I think
Yeah.
if it was my own kin, my own flesh and blood, it's fun to watch, man. Every single play ends in a collision in football.
Yeah.
It's the point of the game.
my
You know,
kid
there's
is
other
not
sports
playing
that are
football, period.
Contact, there's wrestling and there's my boys play hockey.
Yeah.
And there's some hard hits, there's collisions, but that's not the objective of the game.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah.
every play ends in someone getting
That's a great
flattened.
point.
In football,
That's the
literally,
objective.
every play ends up.
you can
Well, the majority of kids aren't going to get out of high school, and the ones that do, the majority of them aren't going to make it to the NFL.
But-
So I don't know that I necessarily just skirt kids that I'll never have, for example. It's not like aviation where the market is going to take the opportunity away.
Yeah, but make the comparison. I mean, when you start talking about pilots who join to fly for the military, it's very few people who want to do it who end up getting to that spot. I mean, it's not NFL level, but it's very few. The percentage is
Like
small.
less than 1% or something like that. Is that what you're saying? Those
No,
numbers?
it's not less than one. That's for sure. But think about it. But think about it this way: it's not. There's a small percentage of people who want to become military pilots who actually make it through, or make it to that level, just for the sheer fact that they don't even know how to, or they don't have enough care to do it.
I think the military pilot disappears before the commercial pilot.
I totally agree with that, 100%.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate but true. The American military fighter pilot
Oh, he's gone.
will be gone.
Well, this is the last plane they're going to use. The 35 is the last thing they're going to use for the flesh bag.
Didn't you get that AI in a sim? It was a simulator.
Yeah.
The AI aircraft
right.
beat.
Yeah.
Just
What was it, an
annihilated
F-16 pilot?
F-16.
Yeah.
More than
The
one.
dogfight.
Every single one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single
But
person that took one
and
to
the
try
thing
it.
is the two places where I think you'll continue to see manned or women or whatever you want to call it aircraft for a while.
Sexist pig.
There's more than two genders there, Adam.
Them. You didn't use them.
You're right. Okay, thems. I think is a little bit in the cargo world, but the bombers, because solely for the liability purpose.
Positive control.
God,
yeah.
no.
Positive.
You're saying
Same reason.
they'll be
Brandon,
the last to go. Is that what you just said?
Yep. Just like Brandon, you can fire a nuclear missile without having anybody sitting in a bunker. You've been able to do that for 40 years.
But
still have
UAVs are already dropping bombs.
Exactly.
They're
UAVs are doing it already.
They're not dropping strategic.
There's a
weapons.
lawyer standing over their shoulder
They're
in
dropping tactical weapons
in that
Totally
little
different
box at
story.
Creech. Can we say
Total-
that?
Totally different. B-52 ain't going away for another.
When's the Reaper gonna do a show
It
of
doesn't
force
matter, a
over
B-50
Kenosha?
Why would it? Yeah, true statement. Why would it be? Why would a B-52 go away when it's bought and paid for 1 million times over, and the pilots?
That's the issue. It has nothing to do with the pilots and reliability and all that.
I didn't say reliability. I said
no liability. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. It's all money. It's that they're bought and paid for. We ain't gonna about to spend money on something else to develop.
We're not designing a new one. Yeah.
Not designing a new one. It's gonna
It
take
went so well
trillions
with
of
the tanker.
dollars.
I don't know why they wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Weird. So
And they're for 60. Are we going on 70 years now? Is it 70 almost?
70.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
public
yeah.
math,
19 in 2027.
60-ish. Yep.
The tanker will be 70 years old.
70
The
years
first,
old.
I think 26. The
57.
first active tanker that flew will be 70 years old.
Yeah,
I think
and it's
56
still-
was the
I think it's still
delivery year.
flying today, isn't it?
I think we got a 57 or a 58 on the Ram.
Is that Mac deal? Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
I don't know. I
The tanker
wouldn't.
with a guy that prostate cancer by now. Right?
At least. At
Yeah.
least.
Kidney stones and
Definitely lung. It would definitely have lung cancer, heavy smoker.
Dude,
God
I
damn it.
hate you for making me laugh at that.
Yeah.
But it was pretty.
Well,
funny.
I would encourage my kids to do what if they want to do it, I'd say go for it. But I'm going to tell you,
Look, kids are there for you to guide them. You don't tell them to go bang your head into a freaking wall. No.
Airbus
If
has
you
already
wanna do it,
performed
I say
autonomous AR.
but the autonomous stuff has been going on for a while. It's not. Is it when it becomes like Brandon said, and I totally agree. I've been saying when the infrastructure and everything becomes cheaper to implement, boom, then it's done. But it ain't gonna have the implementation is so expensive.
No,
So
but
expensive.
that's only one threat to the industry, though. Just look at how a virus took us from from hero to zero with all this cyclical motion. I don't know. It's already like I'm only a third of the way into the career, and I'm already kind of sick of it.
On the civilian side?
Yeah, on the civilian
Yeah,
side.
and
yeah.
you see these guys that are retiring now or that took the early outs at one of these other companies. I mean, like almost 2,000. Like it's
They
crazy.
look exhausted. Yeah.
They look like
They look
shit,
terrible.
man. They've been through how many of these? At least 3 of these in their career.
Mhm.
And they're just so tired. They just don't like they're
Yeah.
That I agree with.
They're beaten down.
Withstanding
You just feel bad for them.
Dude, I agree. So would you? Okay, let's
also,
rephrase
man,
that.
this is the
Would you
Yeah.
would you encourage your children to try to fly militarily and have nothing to do with the civilian side, if that option is available in my case, 20 years when she's 23 years old?
the military opens a lot of doors, but it also opens you up to anything that happens in the world. Like a lot of us, we came in right after 9/11. That was not a good time to come into the military. So you're really playing you're taking your chances with that. It's an honorable career. I'm grateful for those that do it, but no, I would not.
But you know what? But that's the price
Okay.
you pay for something so, for something that has such a generational impact. I think it's a small price to pay. Yeah, you're willing to go the distance if you had to. And then in our position, I mean, let's keep it real, guys. As a zipper suit sun god, compared to a guy that's on the ground holding a rifle, I mean, we got it good. We had a pretty damn good career.
Oh yeah,
the grunts on the ground, God bless them. They're the ones that my hat goes off to. So
Sure.
So in our position, I think you're right, Chris. It does open you up, but I think that's the price to pay for something that I know in my life has changed the trajectory of my lineage. I mean, I won't even see the impact of my great grandkids because of the thing I did. Stupid, dumb luck, really.
Well,
it does open doors.
It opens
That's
a lot of doors. Look at, some of the things Brandon and I are working on right now.
Well, look at this.
Wouldn't even be comprehensible.
Well, let's take it down a notch for those who don't want to do that kind of thing and who are content with just their job. Militarily speaking, the 4 of us would have never ever come into contact with each other, and the 4 types of people, because we're all from different parts of the country.
Yep.
Like that's if I would have been an electrician in Milwaukee, I could have made a ton of money, but I would probably know 0 people outside of the Milwaukee area.
Mm-hmm.
Just that part alone militarily is something that I've always been really, really thankful for. In fact, it's one of the reasons I tell people who are younger who said, I just want to go into the Guard or Reserve. And I go, and you judge their character for a few seconds and you say, maybe you're the kind of person who should hit up active duty for a spell, not because you're not Guard or Reserve material, but because you need that. I needed that experience. I needed to go out and be somebody else's whipping boy for a little while. You know what I mean? Like I needed somebody who was senior to me by 6 months who thought they could control what I did. I kind of needed that experience, and I needed to meet the people that I had throughout my career. And it never would have happened if I would have just been straight guard guy, Milwaukee. I think guard babies are great and it's an awesome career option, but I don't think everybody's cut out for that. I think some people need that little boost that the active duty.
Sidebar: do you realize that every episode Brandon changes his screensaver?
No. I like that one though.
Is that prima donna status?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys have got 48 views.
It's part of the brand.
You gotta go big.
You're
Once
halfway to triple
once he
digits,
hits
man.
50,
Well,
what do you get?
48 views is optimistic, Adam.
Oh, well, I sent in total. Once you wait till you hit 50, whew, boy.
I'll make all my kids click on it, so I'll get you 5.
Thanks, dog.
I think that so we're all kind of on the same boat with that. We have severe trepidation about encouraging our children to join the career professionally. Now, aviation wise, if my daughter wants to be an anesthetist and make 750 grand a year putting people to sleep before surgery, and then writes a patent for something and makes millions, and she wants to learn how to fly and become an aerobatic queen of the sky.
It's a great hobby. Yeah,
It's the
awesome
best.
hobby.
I think it's the best hobby on the planet if you can afford it.
Yeah,
because
And
it's expensive as hell.
if your business requires travel and you can afford a personal airplane.
Well, and one of the cool parts about the hobby, right, is you can go
Like me.
you can go upside down. And just for those of you who are interested, on the Pilot Network podcast, we'll be interviewing ACM Warbirds of Canada, Mike Skidmark Bourget,
Well, that's gonna get
next
edited
week,
out.
and he will be part of the crew.
Hey Tyler,
So,
mark the tapes.
listen.
We're gonna
I got
get to
it.
that. Yeah, okay, thanks.
I'll remember that. I'll remember that.
Yeah, it was last time we were invited to your podcast. Oh, do you guys still have a podcast? Are you selling part of your TPN or not? Like, what? Weren't you
I was
gonna
on his
sell to us?
podcast. He was the Pilot Network did ProFlight a lot of good, and I do appreciate the visibility that
What have you done for us
TPN
lately?
provided.
We don't give a shit about what you did in the past. What's going on in the future?
I'm not doing anything for you. It was
look at
for
that.
Pro Flight.
Don't make it personal.
It's not personal. You just don't.
Jesus.
You do nothing for me. So why would I do anything?
What do you
for
mean?
you?
You're on
It's a
here. We let
win-win
you. We
situation.
let you speak.
Oh,
Speak about.
Thank God. I appreciate it, God. Oh, Brandon, thank you so much for letting me be on here. I appreciate.
Allowing it.
I
allowing
appreciate.
it.
I appreciate.
I mean, Tyler said Uhan. I'm like, again. All right, fuck it. Let's do it.
You know, Brandon made fun of my patches last time, but Brandon's got an Air Force flag in the back.
Yeah,
So
it was inspired by you.
talk about some bullshit there.
I know. I put it up there. Look how it's up there though. It's with like.
See, you know
tats.
what, Brandon? I do have to change one because I don't really like this one here.
What is that one?
Oh, this
Didn't
is an
see it.
old active duty one, but this one, Brandon
look
knows.
at that.
Brandon knows this one.
Which one is that? Is that a Jenny? Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
The Jenny, yeah.
The flying donkey.
Brandon,
That's
do
the
you still
that's
do
the
the,
new one. I don't
That's
like
our
that
old
one.
one.
you still
Oh, the new
interview
old one?
The new old one. Yeah.
academy candidates?
Yeah, yeah.
You do. Did
Yeah.
you use that same background for them?
I do. I
You
do.
Is that one of your
Well
first
played,
flags?
Callie.
That's why that's there.
Well
and when
played.
he does it on the whiteboard, he writes, "Don't do it."
No, I had something up there before, and I looked in the camera, and it was something crazy.
I'm here
Almost
with you every
like-
step of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit.
What do you guys think on Big Ten football? Is it going to happen?
No.
Oh, it's there already. It gone.
I don't
Nebraska.
know.
I thought there was an update
October
like a
10th
day
is
ago
being
where like
thrown around
Ohio
as a
State.
start date.
I don't know, man.
There's like 3
Wisconsin's
schools
not
that are-
interested.
Yeah, I know.
So Barstool did a good article on this when they were talking about how the Big Ten basically kicked themselves in the ass because they were essentially the first to cancel, thinking every other conference would.
Yeah.
And then SEC
Yeah.
and Big 12 stuck around. Now Big 10's like, well, fuck. Now what? And so they're like, oh, maybe Thanksgiving.
Now we're losing.
But now I heard October 10th.
I saw
might
on
be
the
a
news-
possibility.
University of Michigan is losing $110 million if they don't play a season this year.
Wow.
Holy
That's
cow.
insane.
That's nuts.
I do want to. Wisconsin asked for. I only know this because I don't have season tickets, but I have friends who do. They asked for. There was 3 options. 1, you get a refund. 2, you basically take the money you paid for your season tickets this year, you put it towards your tickets next year, or 3, you consider it a donation to the university. Guess how that one went?
As you'd expect.
Wow.
a lot of option ones. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like, and
Maybe
they
we can
asked
shit next year.
this
Yeah.
right after the time the unemployment benefit had stopped and all this stuff. It's like, wow, your timing is just
Just
impeccable.
horrible. Wow.
Oh man, yeah, and the thing is My friends who had season, one of the
Yeah.
guys I know, he's had season tickets for 20 years. He was furious with the university. So I don't know, man. Like I think Wisconsin's pretty anti having games this
Yeah.
season. But like Nebraska, the players tried to sue the Big Ten or the NCAA. I can't remember who it was, and they basically said there's going to be there's no case, but it was kind of a show of, hey, we're suing you. You can't tell us that we can't have a season. And
So
Yeah.
Adam, as a
I do hate
temporary,
how this is. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as a temporary tampon, Adam, what are your thoughts on the Bucks 2020 season?
you know, Tyler, I really hate myself being a sports fan this year because I've been like into it, but even with the Bucks, so the NBA, but let's take the Milwaukee Bucks real quick. Best team in the NBA is when COVID-19 hit as far as record went. It was like they were on fire. The season looked like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a coronation of Giannis. It's gonna be finals of LeBron and Giannis. Bucks win in 7. And this amazing thing. Kobe passed, ripped to Kobe, and the passing of the torch from LeBron to Giannis, all this stuff, right? And then COVID hit, big lull. You get back, and I've been watching the games, and I've been into it a little bit, and I have to drink heavily to be like rah rah rah, really crazy into it. And
You
to
just
be
need an excuse to drink heavily.
well, no, I don't need an excuse. If you
For
were
Shannon, not for you.
if you with Shannon, yeah, well, Shannon, yeah, that's true.
Definitely for Shannon.
So, but with football, dude, I have not paid any attention to anything going on except that you have Gronk and Brady, and that Tampa is still warm, and the little logo thing is bigger from 2 years ago. That's all I know. Like, I seriously haven't been paying. I don't even know what's going on with the Packers. I heard we lost a linebacker today, and I think he's a starter. That's bad on me. And Brandon, yes, I'm still not rolling. So sorry.
Not rolling.
Jiu-jitsu.
What?
Is,
How are you
is-
not rolling?
What I have been basically, we've talked about it, and it's
Who's
the one
we?
thing the pregnant wife and I, she said it's the one thing she's not comfortable with.
You want to come back
What are
looking
you
like Johnny
talking about?
Poland?
That's the
Yeah.
one thing you're probably most cleanliness.
That's
We
what
clean, the mats. That's Jesus.
I get it. I get it, but you know,
No, I don't. I don't have that problem.
Well,
I
just
roll.
tell her that
you have had.
since you can't roll on the
I roll.
mat, she has to roll with you now.
There you
We
go.
do. We have
Yeah.
we have our tussles.
She has to let you put it.
All right.
All right, shut up. Hey, shut up. Yeah, be quiet.
Well,
Just
I'm
'cause
looking forward to Rodgers coming to Tampa in a couple years after Brady retires.
Yeah, you can have him then too, because he'll do the same thing that Brady does and disappoint. So go for it.
Yeah.
I think your running game is going to be the scary part, honestly. I don't think you're going to have. I mean, I know you have Mike Evans and he's awesome, but Gronk is going to be hurt within 3 or 4 weeks, and Brady's old, dude. Like, he showed age last year. And what about your offensive line? Do you have one? Is the offensive line any good? Because Brady isn't necessarily as mobile as Dan Marino was at the end of his career. So I don't know how you're going to be able to avoid that sack machine happening. The
Yeah,
Packers,
we'll see. It'll be
we're
fun to
going to
see.
be terrible. If we finish 5-11, if we beat the Lions once this season, I'm going to be happy. That's how bad I think we're going to be.
Nah, you're not gonna
You
be
know
the
what?
Lions.
I've heard you say that a couple times, and then you beat the Lions twice. So I don't really want to have this conversation. to be honest with you.
False. Last season, we have wiped the floor with the Lions for years. Last season, not the case. So just saying. And we were 13-3. And by we, I don't mean I'm a shareholder, so I can say that shit.
Do you remember we were in the deed watching? Oh wait, we weren't watching it together, thank goodness. But
No, we
Aaron
weren't.
Rodgers, Hail Mary.
We were texting.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, I don't think you spoke to me for like 48 hours after that. There was a lull. There was a bit of a lull.
As
You
there
were
should
not.
have been.
He was
Jeez.
not. Oops, wrong glass.
Is that your
Is that your
spit
spit
glass?
cup?
Oh my god.
No, no.
Oh no.
Dude, don't do that.
I gotta. No, see, I gotta. This is that's for my dad who
Milwaukee beer, Miller.
Miller. Well, my dad worked at Miller for 30 some odd years, so I gotta represent.
So
He
back to
retired
the
early, Brandon, 55 years old, so I
That's
gotta.
awesome. That's a lot. Of
Back to
beer.
the airlines. I didn't know this until I read it today. A lot of the big three, specifically in Southwest and Alaska, jumped on too. No change fees in perpetuity
Oh,
going
yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
permanent change. That's good
That's
for the
gonna
consumer.
hurt. Good for the consumer,
Sure.
not good
Yeah.
for the company.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they make a lot on those extra fees and stuff.
they do. They do. But you got to do something to draw folks back to flying, and that's
Yep.
one of them. Can't blame them. It's actually a good play. Start something low.
Yeah.
You guys
Pre-
probably know this. It's not obvious to the consumer per se, or myself. The August-September transitions when you transition from leisure travel back to primarily like corporate and business.
Yeah.
It's actually
So-
more September, October, right? Isn't that
I'm just going off what Yahoo Finance said, but
Yeah.
it could be. But yeah, so there's a lot of speculation in the marketplace what's going to happen the next month or two. So
Time to short it.
short the market.
Yeah.
Short the market.
Yeah.
Short the airlines anyway.
Have you guys been watching the TSA numbers at all? Have you guys ever gone to that website and looked
Yeah.
at the
It
TSA?
shows the flow of
I don't go
people in and
myself.
out.
They're
I
like-
see them posted. Yeah.
Okay.
1.8 million or 1.4 million down from last year.
1.4. No,
Daily?
no. 2 million down. Like
Well,
even-
August last year was 2.3 million. It was like 711,000 this August.
So
So
I
whatever
looked.
that math
I
is.
looked yesterday, and there was eight. So roughly right now is about 2.7 to 2.8 million a day last
Deficit.
year, and we're at about 800 to 900,000. However, it's the steadily increasing numbers when you rate it year over year on the travel dates of like what big dates people travel on. Those should be moderately encouraging. However, if anybody thinks that we're getting back to 2019 numbers in the next 2, 3, 4 years, they're insane. It's not
At the
gonna
very least, we're 5 years behind that. You
At
mean,
least,
like,
at least.
right off the bat. I mean,
If-
not even, and I don't even know if we're going to get back to. Man, this is something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's.
I think
something, man.
they released our Adam on our company. They released the required pilot numbers for the 2021 year.
Oh yeah.
It was like 6,000 guys. Right. I mean, they don't staff to that. They staff over that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
over
yeah.
that. There's a
But
percentage.
that's the
million and stuff,
required
but-
number. Yeah.
That's the required number to fly their 2021 schedule is 6,000.
That was required by the contract or required by just the number
By
of
the staff,
aircraft
the
and
staffing
staffing.
formula. Yeah,
Yeah,
they got a
okay.
formula. They
So then the contract kicks in, and then they need another $2,000.
Then
or
they-
something.
Yeah. How
but
many?
it's-
Yeah. We can't. I mean, those brains that run that stuff, dude. Remember when Network Guy came in and talked. He just everything he said was like just over the top of your head, but you could never quite grasp it because he was so MIT smart.
Right.
That's what
Watch Zoom by an airline. Nobody's traveling because of Zoom or Microsoft Teams.
watch
They
them
buy
buy
an airline, then they
Wrong
own
preposition. I
they
thought.
own the business travel market completely. They own business travel at home and in the air.
Ooh, that's a nice speculation. I like where you're going with that.
Wait, say that again. I had it.
Well,
You,
so
you remember,
business
Uhan, when you
travel-
talked about over the head and just
Dude.
barely out your reach?
I'm a meathead, man. Say it again,
I'm saying
please.
business travel, like you said, for the next 5 years is going to be dramatically lower,
Sure.
due in part to Zoom and Microsoft Teams. So I was making a outrageous statement to say that Zoom will buy an airline because they'll be able to buy it dirt cheap because they're putting them out of business. Essentially,
So you know what the thing is though is this was stated like 8 or 9 years ago. There's all these articles from way back when that said when Skype first came on and people could have these interactions, is this the end of business travel? And for a moment, people started doing it and they go, we hate this. And the thing that I've talked to and it's specifically sales reps who are the majority of your business travelers, the thing that they keep going back to is conventions have canceled. If conventions were still going on, they would still be traveling, but conventions aren't going on, so they're not traveling. It's the convention industry, which is an industry, shockingly, to a huge industry, that until that comes back online, there is no reason to business travel. And these sales reps have no need to go anywhere. And now the guys that I've talked to, all anecdotal, of course, have said that there's big time Zoom fatigue, Microsoft Teams, all this stuff. The fatigue is very realistic. Now it's very good for intra-office meetings. Funny. Business travelers don't want to go into the office to meet regularly, but they want to get out of the house to get on an airplane to go somewhere else and meet with people that they don't always have to see. Funny how that works, isn't it?
because people are good in small doses.
Right.
You like everybody for 2 days. You dislike everybody after 2 months.
That's pretty much the
I
case.
mean, Adam's awesome in small doses, but fuck.
That's why I come on here
Yeah, and I
once
think
every
the
2 months.
That's why you're
the
only invited for
conventions, like with business, I'm not in it, but it seems like that's where all like the pollination and germination happens, where, where like new offshoots and ideas happen. You can pretty much maintain a contract and maintain a sales relationship via Zoom, but I don't think you can make a new one. You can't. How are you going to
Conventions
cold
will
call?
come back. I think
Right.
Well,
people,
they have to. I mean, we're in Central Florida. That's the king of all convention.
Callie's right on. How are you going to cold call somebody on Zoom? Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my name's Adam Uhan. Want to buy a vacuum cleaner? I mean, it just doesn't work, man.
if that's
Yeah.
I mean, someone will figure that out though.
Will they? Dude, cold calling has been the same way. Like in the real estate business, people have been cold knocking on doors for 50 years.
But there's a better way now. The internet has changed the game.
Has it in certain cases?
Absolutely.
Dude, you have to have analog. You
Well,
can't just be tech. It's got to be something's got to be
I mean,
analog.
you could have like
People
a
are still
pop-up.
people.
If you could, then
You
the
have a
Jehovah's
pop-up on
Witnesses would
Zoom.
be,
Hey,
using
so-and-so
Zoom
from
to-
some company wants to meet with you.
Oh,
You know,
people
you have-
love pop-ups. You're right, Tyler. People love pop-ups on the internet. That's a huge
But
thing.
but they
Big
happen.
time gig.
They happen.
They did happen, and then they got rid of all of them because people hated them so much. What I'm saying is you still have to have analog human interaction, and you just can't get rid of it. It's in our DNA. It doesn't go away. I got one parting thought that I want to say.
Change the game. Yeah.
I think the bummer of this is I really like the airline job, and I really like flying airplanes for a profession. I think it's going to kind of suck to not be able to show my kids I just don't see the really good stuff that was just starting to come back. There was a little bit of it. There was a little bit of that light, like that spark again for aviation had some fun to it again. And it was kind of cool. And as a profession, I just don't know if that spark's going to be there when my daughter's 15 and we do get to travel, and I'll be like,
we almost got a little glimpse of the Pan Am days, and I think that's gone. Like our generation, I think it's going to end with us because this next generation coming up, they have a different outlook on things. Their patience level is not there. Like, and the generation before us, they're laughing at us. They're like, you guys don't know what you're in for. And we're kind of in that transition. If you're a Generation X guy, or give or take, whatever, which is probably most of us. I think this next generation coming up, they don't have the patience. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that they don't have the patience. So they're going to do something about it. They're not going to sit around and wait. They're going to hey, you know what? I'm going to create something. And, with this internet thing and, unmanned something or the Hyperloop, or what's the guy that Elon's building some loop bore. Some shit.
No, he gave it away. He gave the blueprints away. He just said, I don't have time for this. Somebody else do it.
Love it.
Yeah, he's too busy trying to get to Mars. And
that's the brain and the pig thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No, that's the Neuralink. That's Neuralink. No, he's keeping that.
Well, and not to mention that he made $855 trillion in the last 3 months because Tesla's stock's gone up 500%. So
and it just split.
Huge market day today too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big day.
Hope you guys made some money.
Thanks, Trump. So. Yeah, I think this generation is going to be completely different. They're not going to wait around. They're not going to take it.
Make it happen for themselves a little bit more.
Yeah, more than we did. But we're kind of in the middle. We're like, do we still have that old school mentality? Do we still want the Pan Am days? Those guys won't even know how to spell Pan Am. So it's different. Statement. Those guys.
So during furlough, gentlemen, Adam and then Chris. I know Adam, you got TPN. Is there anything else you're working on in the extra time that is focusing primarily on guard, or are you trying to take advantage of opportunity outside?
So since furlough is not going to touch me, I'm pretty clear of it. I'll be going back to the airline at some point. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'll be going back to the airline probably in 2021. I have some other military obligations that are coming up through the year. And then also baby's due in November. So that kind of wipes out a couple of weeks. So Yeah, mom's healthy, baby's healthy. That's good.
You having another girl? You said.
another girl?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Ray. So the TPN focus was to restructure. So we got to do what we liked, and we got rid of the stuff that we didn't like. And we're thinking that is going to pay enormous dividends going forward. We have some really cool new perspective on guests, and a lot of them lined up. Aviation centric, but stuff that we like in aviation. And for anybody who does hear this, I'm looking for a firefighter, currently fighting fires in California. So specifically a FAC. I know there's a couple on TPN. So I got.
So how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me preferably at adam@thepilotnetwork.org, or they can find me socially on Facebook through the Pilot Network Facebook page. And then the other thing that I'm working on is I have just established a deal as a very limited investor in a small company startup. You guys may know him as Bobby Quinn and Raven Spatial.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep. So I am
Guy's smart dude too.
Yep.
very
We're
smart.
gonna have
dude.
him on here again pretty soon.
Yeah, he's awesome. And then I've got one rental property and another one hopefully on the way. And that's more of a diversification, because if this gets worse or this happens again in a much more drastic situation and air travel stops completely, I don't want to be left out in the complete cold. I want to have something, even if that something goes away too, at least I can say that I tried. And I want to be able to hang my hat on saying, I try to keep my family's house and the food on the table, no matter how bad it got. And I tried to do it before it actually happened. No,
I got nothing like that. I'm impressed, Adam. But no, I've been playing softball. Been skateboarding with my kids.
That's fun.
I don't know.
That's
I've
awesome.
just been trying to have fun, trying to stack up cash as much as I can. But I don't have any rental properties. I don't own a Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I probably should.
You too will be able to buy something soon. You'll be able to invest. I know.
Yep.
Well, you got a 401k. That's good shit. Hey,
Got that.
so can we take out $100,000 out of your 401k? Did you hear about that shit?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
My my financial consultant guy wants me to go and grab everything I can and put it in the tax-free side, the Roth side. The problem is I had to push everything on pause because I didn't know if I was going to have a job, and because you have to pay tax and everything you've invested. And I was like, dude, if I pull out everything I have or as much as I can and put it in the Roth side, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have the cash to cover that.
Yeah,
And
isn't it tax free though? I thought that was a thing.
But I thought the whole
No.
thing was tax
no,
deferred or tax free.
this is it's tax deferred 3 years. With that said, I was like, if I'm working at Home Depot for 3 years and I've got a starting salary of about $50,000 a year, I'm going to be making enough money to eat, pay our mortgage, and maybe be able to put a little bit away. So I was like, the last thing I'm going to be able to do is pay a huge tax bill in 3 years, even if I could save up for it. So I said, we're going to pause on that until we find out what happens. And now I think I'm going to do it, but this was a couple months ago, back before any of us knew it was going to happen.
We still don't know what's gonna happen.
True. Yeah, we don't.
Shit.
We just know October 1st.
It's a crapshoot, man. Isn't it amazing?
I don't think we know October 1st. I keep hearing that they might push that to November 1st too. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I have heard, and you and I probably should talk offline about some of the other stuff that's going on within our little circle. It's not for here or for public ears, I suppose. But
does anybody else have anything you want to discuss before we call it a night?
I love you guys, and I hope you do the best. Hope the best.
Thanks for the opportunity, Tyler.
Yeah,
thanks for allowing me to be on the podcast.
Dude, it's always fun. You guys are both a good time.
Good just chatting with you.
You're welcome, Callie.
It's good to see you. Yeah. Tyler, it was always a pleasure talking to you. Brandon.
Yeah, touche.
Go fuck yourself.
Brandon,
already have. Ha.
Just curious, what kind of bow do you have?
What kind of what?
What kind of bow do you have? I saw you messing with your fletchings before.
Hoyt. Yeah, I got the Alpha.
Okay, I'm super close to getting in. Just first of all, target archery, and then
target.
Move it up there. never hunted before. I'm kind of interested.
Do it,
but,
dude. You're a great place too up there.
Well, I
Milwaukee.
know I know everybody hunts, but I
You know how
just
far I got to go to get some good game? We're going all the way to Kentucky
oh,
tomorrow.
I was gonna
Jeez.
say you got to come up here and see some. We have a buck that ran through our yard. She was, or he was
Or
like,
he.
yeah, he,
Science.
She had the biggest antlers.
Yeah,
Huge balls
hey.
too.
huge antlers, big long.
Hey, did you
I
ask their,
I love how Adam's assuming the gender.
Yeah.
did you ask their pronouns, you moron?
Yeah.
Insensitive.
The
fuck.
the actual rack of the deer looked like this one. It was unreal. I couldn't
Was
believe.
it like a 8-point or 10-point?
Well, it depends because it depends what if you count it by the half or by the whole. And
yeah,
I think
by the half or
he
his
was
whole.
probably about he's probably like a 10 to maybe a 12 pointer.
Wow.
Big like
Yeah,
like the
beautiful.
full on velvet covered antlers.
Oh yeah.
Super.
Oh, so they're about to start
They
getting.
probably love that brook in your backyard, huh?
Yeah, he was running through the brook, jumped up on the grass, and then took off. And I was the only one home. And I told Lydia about it later, and she's like, "A deer was running through the yard." I go, "A big old deer." And she's
Did
like,
you get on
"Oh."
camera? You have like a.
I didn't have
camera
my phone.
back there?
My phone was. I ran back to
Oh.
my phone. It was too late. I saw him one other time. He runs around our neighborhood, and he ain't gonna get shot, so he ain't scared of nothing.
No, he ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I just haven't seen any doe, so I don't know what he's doing around here.
Oh, they're out there. Trust me.
Yeah, it's true.
It's about to happen. This next in November, I think, is when it really gets down,
Yeah.
and it gets
Get you a
gets a little.
salt block. He'll come by every day.
Yeah, man. We
Yeah,
got
that's
some of
true.
this. Just some corn feed. Or
We got
whatever.
we have a family of mink in our backyard.
mink. You can
Mink.
make good slippers.
That's what I said. My wife
Right.
did not find that funny.
Not funny,
Yeah, you can see they're.
but they're gonna be for her.
Is there even a Wisconsin chapter of PETA, or do they even get up in that state?
Yeah,
No, they don't let 'em.
But
They have pizza in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I've had it.
PETA.
Oh.
Oh,
but
Peter.
it's
Yeah.
and this is honor of Joe Lipa. It's the PETA pit, and it's referred to as the pill.
I love it. This is the 11th consecutive Furlough Friday that JoJo's been brought up.
Okay, and
It is.
but it's the
And
first.
He'll
Furlough
never be
Friday
on it.
That the PETA pit has been brought up.
Brought to you by Peter Pitt.
Joe and I used to love our pills. The
Yeah,
pill
Peter
shop. We
Pitt's
used to call it the
amazing.
pill shop. Yep, the
Yep, the
pharmacy.
pill
Time to
shop.
go to the pharmacy.
How close to Kenosha do you live, Adam? That was a question that came up. The crusher was concerned. She gives her regards, by the way.
35 minutes, no traffic.
It's
Called it.
north or south? Or north. You're in Milwaukee.
You're
Okay.
he's
Yeah,
north.
You're north of it. Yeah.
North of Milwaukee. Yeah.
So you're safe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's safe
All
until he shows up
Good.
on Main Street in Kenosha.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was
just
good.
don't
That
do that.
was possibly, and they were talking about like pilots guarding the firehouses kind of stuff.
Holy shit.
No,
That
we
had-
don't
that's
do
a-
that.
Baltimore. That was established in Baltimore. A-10 pilots were standing in front of firehouses with M16s because what else are you going to use A-10 pilots for? And I mean, no offense to the A-10 guys, but they can't haul anybody in their airplanes, and they needed bodies.
No, they can close air support from the sky.
That's what I said. Now I will tell you that I do know. I talked to one guy, and
Oops.
he said it was the most. He said it was the most amped up and fun thing he's done outside of the cockpit because they got to carry guns, stand
Oh,
there,
yeah.
and
With
they were
rubber
like
bullets
they were
and
like
shit?
they were amped up. They were
Yeah, I
like,
bet.
bring it kind of thing because there was a firehouse. What happened? Fire call came in. Fire department went out. Looters, riders came in, stole a bunch of shit from the firehouse, burned it to the ground. City
Ooh.
didn't want that to happen again. Called the governor. Governor brought in the National Guard guys, and they said, "Oh, pilots, you guys can do that stuff." And they said they were getting paid like what was it, like $20 a day or whatever that per diem for state active duty is, and that's about it.
Oh,
And they were
yeah.
like, "Bring the noise, bitches!" So they were super, yeah, they were super. And I'm like, remember, you guys have a pew pew pew, not the. So they
Yeah.
were. But they said it was actually extremely gratifying, and it felt good to like help and the people who walked by were thanking them, thank you very much for protecting the neighborhood kind of stuff. So they're kind of down with it and into it. So I was like, well, if that's the case, but lieutenant colonel like myself, they're probably going to say, hey, time to go fly the airplane, and I'm cool.
No PII on Furlough Friday.
Is that really PII?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Is that really?
What's your soch?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
All right, this is delving
6,
into
7,
unfounded
8,
territory.
9.
Sorry,
How
Gary.
many numbers are in a social security number? Is it 9?
Are you serious?
I don't know. 9?
What's
10?
wrong with you?
It's like
Like,
a phone
do
number?
the math.
No.
No. I'm a pilot. I don't
I flew airplanes not to do the math.
math.
Man.
This is true.
Not really.
I didn't design the
60 to
plane. I
1
fly
rule.
it. What's that?
What? Huh? GPS? What?
Exactly.
What?
Huh?
GP, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost our viewership.
All right. Well,
yeah,
so-
thanks, guys. It's
Yeah.
been real. Until next time.
always a
All right.
pleasure, gentlemen. So be safe
Yeah,
out
thanks for
there,
keeping it
Adam.
going.